Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to, I was going to say Facebook Live. It's CraftStash Live because we're also on YouTube as well. Hello to you, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. And it's not even a Friday live either because it's a Wednesday. It's really thrown me off, all these extra days and extra lives. We've got a really exciting one though, because we are launching Sheena's amazing new collection, Heartfelt Christmas. You have the opportunity to not only save a massive amount, 25% off of the entire collection, you have the opportunity to collect two pieces that are exclusive to CraftStash that you will not have seen anywhere else. You may think you've seen this earlier in the week or at the weekend. You haven't seen it all. Trust me, there's more in this hour coming to you. But also, you could be winning the complete bundle. Now, little disclaimer, if you do win, don't worry, because if you've purchased previously, we'll refund you your purchase, okay? So don't worry about, oh, I don't want to put it in my basket because what if I win? I don't really need two collections. Pop it in your basket, go and check it out, sit back and watch the amazing demonstrations that Sheena's done, and then if at the end I announce your name and you are our winner, we'll refund you that right back. So it makes it easier for us as well. So yeah, please do enter. Now, what we're going to do is we are going to be watching one of Sheena's demonstration videos, which are all fantastic. By the way, have you got longer than an hour today? Because I think we're going to need a little bit longer. One of Sheena's videos, Sheena, I'm going to tell you off for this in a minute. One of Sheena's videos are 29 minutes long. Imagine all the demonstration and the inspiration you're getting from that. There's others as well. So you've got lots and lots to be getting into today. We are talking about all of this. Now, one of the items I said, or actually two of the items you have not seen before. I have one here. That's the sentiments, the one on the end there that's peeking out. But also the papers. The papers are so exclusive, even I do not have a pack. Okay, Sheena's got those. She can show you those. She's going to show you how to use them as well. These are the items you're looking for. Heartfelt Christmas, absolutely beautiful. We have got large hearts in there. They are stunning. We've got snowflakes, we've got florals in there as well. We've got beautiful village scenes, but I'm not going to go through all the details because I know a lady who knows it way better than I do. So, Sheena, hello and how are you?
Good, hi, Lou. Yeah,
I don't know what that was, sorry.
I'm really enjoying this collection, as are you, so thank you so much. And yes, I know, it's like, you know, I can spend half an hour just saying hello, you know me. So, yeah, when I looked at the videos with pre-recorded, because we thought, if we get them pre-recorded, then we can get on the overhead and we know you're going to see everything you need to see.
Absolutely.
And nice, it's best of both worlds, isn't it? A bit of chitty-chat, a bit of like, you know, close-up.
Well, do you know what? I love sitting back and just watching the videos with everyone else, because that means you and I and Maria, of course, are all going to be in the chat. We're going to be commenting and, yeah, interacting with you all. So if you've got any questions for Sheena during the videos, of course, you can actually be replying to those comments, can't you, as they're live. So, yeah, really exciting.
Absolutely. I get to sit and watch as well. It's like, I'm thinking, oh, now I would say that now. Oh, she has. Oh, yeah, that's because it was you.
Funny that.
But true. I'm going to stop talking now, Lou. Saying nothing else.
Well, Heartfelt Christmas is obviously Christmas, and we're scorching this week. The weather's amazing, but when do you do your Christmas cards usually?
Well, oh, you know what? I'd like to say, right, let's imagine I was, as I should be, the crafter that I should be, and I'll start them probably this month, next month. No, I'm always that. Good thing is this year, because of all the demonstrations I've done with this collection, we're going to have some amazing cards sent out this year because I've got so many hearts done, because they're so quick. That snowflake heart, wait till you see them. It's like another demonstration. Oh, that's another one done. Oh. So I've got loads to put together, so I'm going to be good this year. But I'm more like, you know, when the weather turns a little bit and it's like, you know, November-ish, I'm thinking, I've got to be honest, Maria's the one who gets me prompted to make them. If it wasn't for Maria saying, you know, we need to sort them.
Well, yeah. You're good. I must admit, confession time, I didn't send Christmas cards last year. I just could not get my head around doing it after you do it all year round. But when I was purely crafting for a hobby, absolutely, I would be thinking about it this time of year. And this is where you're going to get your bargains, isn't it? Because
yeah, absolutely.
You can see there, we've got that paper pack that I've been shouting. This is so pretty, such a gorgeous paper pack. And I know you're going to be showing it. $9.99, and that's an exclusive. You can only get that on CraftStash. That's amazing. But if you're buying the complete bundle, £87 today for everything, absolutely everything. That's saving 25% off. I'm not sure how long that 25% is going to be remaining. So do, if you think about the whole collection, do pop it in your basket now. Could we see a few little cards from you, Sheena,
Yes,
please?
let's share, because I've got a couple of new ones that I haven't even shown on the pre-recorded videos. Look at this one. How cool is that? I'm going to put it there. Isn't that gorgeous? Now, what we're looking at here, you've got those big words. You see the huge words in the middle, the merry and bright?
Yeah.
Love that. You've got obviously the heart with the garland heart there. So really, really pretty. And then the backing paper's inked up. I should mention, let me come back to that. Those papers, look at the colours. There's no paper in the set that's that colour. What Lisa's done is she's used her distress inks or whatever other blendable inks to colour these papers. They're so neutral with them and so perfect to take the ink that you can do that. And then look at this one, another one you haven't seen. Look at the size of the words, double cut them, make them look even more wow. And then you've got the berries in the background.
Wow.
This one is, it's already good to go. Two of the papers kind of used in conjunction. What I would say, if you want a tip of the day from me, Lou, is if you can, get a couple of packs of the papers, because if you are going to be, like we've just said, and with the best of intentions, think you're going to make your cards like, you know, and then you get to like November, December, the papers are a great time saver, because look at that background, it's all done. So all that had to be done here is that monochrome, just one distress ink, colouring in the middle, really quick, and then your papers on the background. And
gorgeous. If anyone's just wondering there, if they got a little bit dizzy, I've just flipped you, Sheena, because the image I didn't realise. If you can just pop that to your left a little bit.
My left.
There we go. Perfect. For some reason, your image was flipped, so I've just flipped you round.
I saw that. I thought I was having a bit of a dizzy turn. I thought, "Ooh, was that me? What? Whoa!"
No, we can see the words the right way round now, so we know what they say.
Cool. But you see how that backing paper again? It's a really quick way to make a card look amazing and wow,
Stunning.
But save you some time, which is all good.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. What I'm going to do, we've got lots of people commenting. I'm just going to read a few comments and then we're here with you. And then we're going to jump straight into your first demonstration because, like I say, we've got a few to go through. But what I think we're going to do, because we've got so many, I think the last one we're going to save and we're going to put that out later on today, if that's okay. So we can send lots of links.
Mix and match all the elements together. So definitely get your collection and then look and see all of the different inspiration by putting things, taking them out. Plan.
Lovely. Okay, so we'll come back to you after the first demonstration, have a chat about what you did and what we saw.
Yeah.
Lovely. Thank you. We'll be back with you shortly. Isn't she lovely? She's still in the background. It's not like she's gone. She's lovely. Right, so Lynn Clifton, thanks for the image flip. Yeah, I know. The words were the wrong way round. I think it's because of cameras. And we're going through camera, and it all gets a little bit mixed up. Yvonne Cunningham says such a gorgeous collection. She needs to rob a bank. Thing is, you don't need to rob a bank, Yvonne. You've got the 25% off. You've also got free delivery over £40 on CraftStash, and then you've also got the option to use ClearPay, which is splitting it into 4 payments. So with those options, robbing a bank probably isn't going to be your last resort now. You can probably stretch it a little bit differently. Please don't do that. Oh, thank you, Sharon. She loves the hairstyle. Do you know what? You're not the first person. I think there's 3 people today who've mentioned that. I was kind of hoping to subtly just start messing my hair up differently. Benita, another wow. It is another wow. Sheena's collections are all absolutely gorgeous. Let me see. Debbie, the papers are stunning. Debbie, what you've done with the papers I've seen is absolutely stunning. I mean, part of Sheena's design team are absolutely amazing. If you haven't seen them already and you want even more inspiration, first of all, you can go to the CraftStash website where you're going to purchase the products. When you hover over those products, you'll see images of cards, just to give you an idea of what you can be making with them. Then you've also got Sheena's group as well, so the inkettes, go and find them on CraftStash. You've got her page as well. You've got all the CraftStash channels. There's YouTube. We're everywhere. Honestly, Sheena's got a new YouTube channel. Actually, we will be mentioning that later. We'll do that so you can go and find her there. I think it's time for a demonstration video before we get into anything else. We will be discussing or having a think about how you're going to enter that competition. What question would Sheena like to put to you to win the entire bundle? And we'll talk about that after this video. So sit back and enjoy this, and we'll see you again very shortly.
Right then, let me take you through this collection because it is huge. I think it might be the biggest, kind of the most flexible, variety-filled Christmas collection I've created. I think it might be my favourite ever. And it's just going to give you so much to play with, but it's going to need a little bit of introduction and explanation, so let me do that. Let me show you on the overhead what it's all about. It's easier to see it than let me talk about it. So what you've got here is, it's based on, because of Heartfelt Christmas, it's based on 2 large hearts, and the first heart here you're looking at is the snowflake heart. So that's what your packaging looks like, and you've got these big garland snowflake. Now, just to let you know, this does all fit on an 8x8 card, and obviously you can make smaller cards with them too, as you'll see as we go through the fabulous samples and inspiration that my inkoids have made for you. As always, they are amazing. So you've got all those things there. So they're stamps and dies. That's what the stamps look like. Okay, so probably should have put a bit of white card underneath there, but I didn't. But you can see that's what they're the stamps. I'm sure Lou will be able to take you through those as well in between. So we just want to make this quite quick, and so we can get on to some playing. And that's what the dies look like when they're cut out. So there's lots of detail in there, as well as the cut on the outside. So you've got lots and lots in there to play with. Good size frame, and obviously you can put any of your other Christmas elements in the center as well. So that is the snowflake heart. Now let me show you the next one, which is the wreath heart. Now this one is more traditional, as you would imagine a Christmas garland to be, all kind of pretty and leafy with your classics in there. You know, your holly, you've got your ivy, you've got your Christmas rose or your hellebore in there, and they're the stamps. And you've got to have a robin. You know what? It doesn't matter how many robins I draw, you always want more robins. You just love robins. So we've got a cute little robin there, and all the elements that will embellish this big heart here, that obviously we're going to pop scenes and wording in the center as well. They're the stamps. That's the packaging. And remember, this includes the stamps and the dies. And just so you can see, that's how big the dies are when they're cut out. But again, they all fit on an 8x8, and these little guys fit around the outside. There's detail in there. There's embossed detail. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. I think you can. So even without the stamp, you can just colour them. You've got enough information on there if you want to do that. You know, that colouring without the line on it. So that would work too. So they're the 2 main hearts. Now, as well as that, these sets, yeah, this is a perfect example of when a good team comes together. I had thought of just some stamps to go in the centre of the hearts, but when we got together, you know, with Carol and Ruth, and we talked about how we could make these things better, with the fabulous people at Practical Publishing and CraftStash. They said we can power these up, we can make them more than just the stamps and give you more to play with. And that's exactly what we did as a team. So you've got these scenes that sit in the middle, so you've got the big kind of an aerial view, so you can imagine you're looking over as if you're Santa flying over the Christmas village. And you've got the cottage here, typical gorgeous snow covered cottage, as well as die cut elements to go with it. Now this is how this completely powered up to my initial vision. I was thinking just some stamps, but no, we've got the fabulous large word in there with winter wishes. You've got the snowflakes, which you're going to use on that snowflake garland embellishment as well. You've got frames here, gorgeous big. These are big cards. This is like going to fill an A5 card easily. And you've got a series of frames. You've got the main mat that you put your image on. Remember those images at first, I was thinking just to go in the middle of the hearts. You've got and then you've got 2 frames if you nest them in together. And then you've got a holly detail. So that's this one here, which is the Winter Village die and stamp set. And then we have the Christmas Blessings. Now this one is the one that has those pretty little doves, which aren't just for Christmas. These could be a wedding, an engagement, anything like that throughout the year. And you've got the church on there, the church, which is with a big pine tree and a snowy roof, and the other elements. The church is missing because I've got it ready because I'm going to stamp it for you shortly. And that's the packaging. But look at how much you get in that package. So you would just before I would have been giving you a set of stamps. Not anymore. You've got all this, you've got that gorgeous shaped mat, you've got 2 frames that you can cut out from it, and you've got all these die cut elements on top with this gorgeous Christmas blessings, big wording, which is what you want. That is the main core collection, and that was the one that sold out in ridiculously quick record time on TV. At 7 o'clock in the morning, we literally sold out at 7 o'clock in the morning. We had to get some more stock for 11 o'clock, and then it sold out. It was so funny because that sold out on TV. This was on the TV launch, and I had about 45 minutes for the show and all I had was brushes. So I got creative with just brushes. So let me show you some of the fabulous things you can make with that collection as it is. Remember though, or I'm not saying remember, you might not even know, we have CraftStash exclusives coming up. So I'm about to show you them. So what you can do is some fabulous things like this, which is a really pretty, simple card that Sharon's created. It just shows you don't have to use all the elements, and you can use it in a creative fashion, cut them up, that's what they're there for, and you've got a really pretty little freestanding card like that. Then if you want to go wow with your colour, this, if you're wondering about the colour on this one, this is the distressing, the Villainous Potion, mwahaha. And inked backgrounds with this layering, which is so easy. If it's a die cut, that's quick. That does not a time thief. This is going to be quick. Little few gems in the middle, absolutely stunning. I think this is Lisa's card, fabulous. If you want to go more traditional, look at that. This is Debbie's colour, just parted flat. She's just stamped it flat, coloured it in with her Faber-Castell, I think she used her polychromos pencils, and just decoupaged some of the elements like the little robin and the Christmas rose and the holly. Absolutely stunning for a more traditional look. You've got this one here, which that's one of those sets that was just going to be stamps if it was up to me. Just stamps, but look at how amazing that is, how much better it is. I love that card. That is so classy. So you can cut out these frames with that set, as well as matching and layering, adding to it. Then we have, look at this for a wow. That is just stunning, isn't it? So you've got these beautifully coloured hellebore Christmas roses. So they can be really pale, almost white, with just a tint of greeny, pale pink, or this deeper colour, which I love. The whole garland with parts of it decoupaged further. There's that image in the centre. And again, looking fabulous. Now we're coming on to the snowflake frame. Look at that. So you've got all these little elements that you can layer up. Get your gems out, get your stickles out, get your glitter glue out. Definitely get your glittery embossing powder, because that's going to be the quickest way to get bling on there. Because you don't want to just you want your Christmas cards to look wow, but sometimes you can't take forever to make them. Some you're going to have more time with than others, but you still want them to look fantastic, and there's ways we can make that much quicker for you with things like glittery embossing powder. Love that. Look at this with the doves. Look at the depth of that decoupage. Isn't that fabulous? I think that is that Lisa's as well. Let me see. Yep, that's Lisa's. We've got another look. I love the just monochrome. So if you're not really confident with your colouring, or you have just started and you haven't got loads of colouring product yet, you don't know which colouring products to invest in, but you've started on your distress inks, well, that's great. Just one colour distress ink and you can do the whole card that looks super classy, super amazing like that. I love that holographic mirror. Fabulous, isn't it? I just think that's absolutely gorgeous. And then another example of the monochrome colouring. Now this one, Lisa used her pencils. She used a one colour blue, I think she used polychromos, let me check. Yeah, she used 3 polychromos blue pencils. So even though it looks like you could have achieved a similar thing with your distress inks, she actually used her pencils there. I love that. Oh, wait till you see this one as well. That's stunning. This one was photographed, obviously, to put on social media. We've been sharing these, and it didn't look anything like as wow as if you get it on a camera, and especially in the flesh or in the card. It looks even more spectacular. Maria absolutely loves this one. Do you not, Maria?
I do.
She does. She loves it. It's really just silver and Christmassy. That's a taster of what you can do with the core set. Now let me show you the CraftStash exclusive elements. Let me pop that to one side and bring in this to start with. This is the first offering here. So you've got the backing papers. which are 8x8. And as always, they're a matte finish. They haven't got a coating, that shiny coating, so you can play with them. You can have some fun with them. You can ink on them. You can emboss on them. And you've got a little snippet of what they look like there. But let me show you and let me take you through them. So as usual, I want to mix and match the colour schemes to go with the different hearts. So I was thinking the frosty snowflake heart have cooler background kind of elements, cooler tones, but because they're pale, you could put some gorgeous teal colour on there, pine colour around the outside, as in ink in it with your applicator. You know, get your applicator out, get some ink on there. Fabulous. You can make it frosty purpley colours if you want. So these are all ready to take ink, and they're lovely and pale, so there's not much colour there to kind of contaminate any other colour you want to put on there. Then you've got a bit stronger. I love this with the snowflakes echoed in the background. And I love that because that looks like proper snow. It looks like falling snow, doesn't it? Not pretend snow. That's like real snow falling. That's just stunning. What we're going to do, because I've got lots of elements coloured in and prepared, we'll do a little bit of mixing and matching and swapping them out on the camera, which is exactly what I would suggest you do. Play, make some bits, individual bits, get some bits prepared, and then start putting them together. Take a picture with your phone and then capture it, take it apart again, do another combination, and then you know what you want to make and stick for sure, for permanent, when you've done that little bit playing time. I love this one too. This one I wanted to look like kind of that bokeh kind of light kind of refraction thing. As if snowflakes, you know, when they look like Orby, but with the big, gorgeous colour scheme. I love this colours here. So I coloured these to make them look as, well, as pretty and vintage as I could, to be honest, and diffused them because I want them to be backgrounds. So, but really, really pretty. You've got the holly and the berries and the frosty leaves around here again. And remember, the thing is we're going to use the borders of this more than anything because the centre is going to hold your main focal image. So a lot of the detail is around the outside for that very reason. And then you've got another one with the Christmas roses and that lovely watercolour effect in the background. They're the backing paper. So on the pack, you're going to get, it's 8x8, you get 24 pages and there's 6 designs in there. So the next exclusive for CraftStash is, or are, the wording dies. So you've got a full pack. This is the packaging. Now on that, this is where I wanted big words, but I'd used all my real estate up with the images. It's like, do I put words on? Do I give you more images? So I gave you more images in the core sets, but I still wanted to give you the option to have these fabulous big words because that's, again, the wow factor on these big, plush, elaborate hearts. And sometimes you don't need an image in the centre, you just want the words on there. So we've got Merry Christmas, winter wishes, a very Merry Christmas to you, merry and bright, joy, 'tis the season to be jolly, warmest, and then you've got wishes and things you can put on there to link with that. You've got Merry Christmas, winter wishes. And so what they are is they're stamps and dies. Again, there's your stamps, or big stamps. And then I'm going to show you the dies. These are the dies. Now what you can do is you've got the stamps, you can stamp and emboss, and then you cut them out with the borders. So you can just literally have a background with your cut out images. Yep, and lay them on like that. And like this. Or you've got the huge wording dies that you can just literally cut out of your Miri card, your coloured cards, and what'll make sense. Instead of making a border for you, I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you in context. Look at the size of that. Isn't that fantastic? I've got huge hands. I can pick up a football like that. Yeah, that like, you know, hands and feet. I should never fall over. I should be a fantastic swimmer. So these are big, these are sizable. Let me show you how these look when you see these come together in some samples you haven't seen yet. We haven't shared these on camera yet. So look at that, this gorgeous, you've got the garland we've seen previously, but look at how that backing paper works with that. That's stunning, isn't it, Maria? Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? So you've had no work to do here. There's absolutely nothing done to that backing paper other than stick it on, and the centre, nothing done. So if you look at this, it looks fantastically elaborate and time consuming. It isn't. It's one backing paper on a Miri mat. Gut the middle. Don't use all your Miri card there. Cut the middle out so you save your Miri card. You've got then one layer of your snowflake in gold underneath, gold mirror, and then this is just on a coloured card stamped and embossed in white. That's it. There isn't even any bling on that. That's it. It looks that amazing on an off-white card stamped and embossed in white embossing powder. The words, these are the words that you haven't seen. These are the exclusive words. And then the same with the dove, just the mirror and the doves there. Absolutely wow. But the time compared to the wow factor is the ratio's really good, put it that way. And then look, we've got the winter wishes. Look at the backing paper come into play here again. And double matte the wording, so it's got more wow again. So 2 colours and offset them slightly, and then you've got even more impact. You've got this one here, look, with the backing paper again, the different paler backing paper, which is stunning, goes with that frosty look. But then you've got the joy wording again, double matte in the centre. So the papers, honestly, if you can pop 2 packs of papers in your basket, I would do it, because this is a consumable. The stamps, you reuse them. The dies, you're just reusing them. But this is a consumable. And once they're gone, I don't know when they'll be back. You'll have to ask the lovely people at CraftStash. But they're the things that you're going to use up. So if you can, and if they're on a deal, I would definitely do it. So on here, you can see what, who's this one? Have we got a mystery person? It's Debbie. So what Debbie's done is she's stamped and embossed with some, in fact she hasn't, she's used a glitter glue on top of this to highlight some of the little frosty bits. She's used a stickles or glitter glue over the top. And can you see how she's now glittery backing paper? Look at that. Isn't that stunning? So that's a backing paper, a little bit of ink on it, and blended it in perfectly. And there, look at how fabulous that Merry Christmas looks. That is such a traditional, look at that, Merry Christmas, isn't it? Love that. Check this out as well, look. Doesn't have to be the full 8x8 card. I think that is stunning. So there's the backing paper in the centre, that really pretty Christmas rose strip of that one. So you'll get a few done with that sheet. Then you've got the wording again, and I love what they've used on this. Is this Debbie again? I wanted to ask what she's used. This pearlescent, look at that. Look at the shine on that. That is beautiful. Pretty. Sharon's done a fun one. Look at that. I love a bit of Sheena card. Young and will love that, but look at how big this wording is. Huge. There's the backing paper, stamped over the top. Fabulous. I think this is Sharon's too. Isn't that lovely? Look, the bit of glitter glue on there, and just cut around this paper, decoupaged it. Look at, just stamp the wording in a coordinating colour ink. That is just a stunner. That's why you're going to want more of those papers if you can. Another one here is, who is this? This is Pamela. So Pamela's used that same paper. Actually, she's used a combination of the two. That's the one of the papers with the big Christmas rose on, diffused, pushed back in the background, looks kind of watercolory, but then the other one with the sharper, smaller images on, combined the two, fabulous, but looks stunning. But that's a quick card. That is a really quick card. And then this one here, with layering combination of the snowflakes and the garland, come together. Ink, look at how that paper takes the ink. That looks like shabby shutters, I would say. That would be my guess there, ink, distress ink. But look at how well it's inked and how it's smooth and how well it's blended on that surface. That's exactly what you want to play with. Papers that you can just use out the box, or you can play around with them if you want. Look at the size of that wording. Isn't that fabulous? I love that. Merry and bright. And then this acetate card with the paper in the centre. Beautiful, isn't it? Papers here and here, and the wording. That's Debbie as well. So hopefully that's given you some inspiration with the collections and the exclusives for CraftStash. And then we'll leave it there. Going to get myself organised, and we're going to start playing. So I'll be back in a minute.
There we go. So there's all the items in the collection. All of the items, the 2 items you've not seen before, as well. I cannot wait to see Sheena actually demonstrate these, and that's what she's going to do in the next video. Sheena, I'm just going to come to you for a moment, because I know you're sitting there patiently waiting and watching your own videos. It's a great way of doing it though, because I know I've seen you've been in the chat talking to people. You and Maria are there, I'm there as well, so we can kind of all watch it together. It's a little bit like premiering, like sitting in our own little cinema and watching. So we've got this complete bundle to win. It's over £115 worth when you tot it all up. Obviously today, if you buy the complete bundle, you're saving 25% off. That takes it down to £87. But for those who want to try winning it, I've decided I'd like to put a question to everybody, because this is genuinely something that I would love to know. And I don't know about you, but I'd love to know, on average, how many Christmas cards do people make? And, you know, are you making them to sell as well, or just for your friends and family? So just let me know a little bit about your Christmas card making habits in the comments. And what I'll do is, while we're playing the last video, because it's 29 minutes long, I will go through the comments and I will pick somebody at random to win this bundle. How's that sound? So what would your answer be? I know we briefly talked about this earlier, your Christmas cards, you do it later in the year. But how many do you think you actually send out?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
yeah.
me? Who, me? Are you talking about me? I was already on the naughty step, still thinking, and I did spend a lot of time showing those previews, but I think the cards did look stunning, so I'm sorry about that, Lou. But
no, we love it. We love it. I'm only messing with you.
Average, it's usually people who, like I say, that Maria kind of prompts me to. Oh, I don't know, but Maria, what about 40, 30?
Yeah, that's a decent
50
amount.
maybe, something like that. Yeah. Yeah.
So when you think about it like that, I mean, you think how long it would take. You may do a card or two an evening, perhaps. You kind of need a few months, don't you, to get that without a mad rush.
Absolutely. Have a little production line going. If you've got a crafty friend, like we do them together, and it's quite nice. We'll have a little production line going where we power up on our specialities. One colouring something, one putting them together. Yeah. Nice.
I like that. And we can get together now this year, can't we? So, that'll be a fantastic way. Right, we've got lots of people coming. Some people saying 100 cards, 40 cards just for friends and family. Lots. So, yeah, I'll be reading those. We have yet another video to play out. Little sneak peek. Do you recall what's in this video?
Oh, you know what, Lou? I can't even remember. I know it's split up. I think this might be stamping the frame. I think I want to say the snowflake frame.
Okay.
Quick fashion.
I do love putting you on the spot, you know that.
Well, you know what, I can remember lyrics from any song from about 30, 40, 50 years ago, but walking into a room, not a clue.
No, not a thing, no.
Gone, yeah.
Oh, bless you. Well, we'll go and watch this video. I'll just do a very quick recap of the offers for anyone who's just joining us, and then we'll come back to you again afterwards.
Fantastic.
Lovely, thank you. So, as I say, if you are just joining us, we're launching Sheena's Heartfelt Christmas Collection. We have got items from as low as $9.99. Now, the $9.99 item is that paper pack, which is stunning. You're going to see more of that in a moment. But with that one, you've never seen it before. You may think you have your hands on the entire collection from earlier in the week. You do not. There's two items, one being the papers, one being the sentiment set, I believe. I'm making sure I've got that right. The sentiment set that are exclusive to CraftStash. So if you want the entire bundle, all of the dies, all of the stamps, all of the papers as well, that comes with 25% off today. Now, I'm not sure how long this 25% is going to last, but I did have a little look at the stocks whilst we were playing out the last video, and we're getting really low. I think by the end of the day, it's all going to be gone. So please, if you do have it sitting in your basket or you are thinking about it, please do pop it into checkout and make sure it's yours, secure it. So we've got a couple of options for you. If you are going for the complete collection, you're automatically going to get free delivery because it's over £40. Sorry, £30, not £40. But if you're spending over £40, which you're going to, you do have the option to also use ClearPay. Now, ClearPay is a way of spreading the payments. I believe you pay every 2 weeks, over 4 payments. You get your items immediately, so you don't have to wait until all the payments are completed. There's no credit check, so don't worry about that, and you're not going to be paying any interest either. So it is literally just spreading those payments, okay? And of course, you're still going to get your free delivery too. So there's some options for you. Let's take a look at this second video. Let's see if it's the one with the frames, and we will come back again later and Do keep commenting about how many Christmas cards you make per year, who you send them to, things like that, and we'll pick a winner at the end for the complete bundle. We'll see you after this.
Right then, let's start with the hearts. Have an heart. So we'll start off with the snowflake heart, and I'll show you how quickly and but fabulous is this. You can make a card with this snowflake. So right, let's look on the overhead and I'll show you what we've got. So this is the big heart set that we're going to use. That's the packaging there. Now what I've done is, before we get to this stage, I have pre-cut because I figure I can show you more rather than just die cut. Most of us seen how die cutting works, and if you haven't, I'm sure you can find how die cutting works. So what I've done is I've cut this out of a nice quality, good quality stamping card, or inexpensive, a student quality watercolour card will be great. If I know I want to use that centre to colour on and watercolour, or use my inks on or blend onto. If I'm not bothered, it can just be any card, and in fact, that's exactly what I did with this one. I cut this out of just some coloured card I had. So look through your card stash and just get all the colours out that you think you might like to work with for a frosty, Christmassy kind of theme. And it doesn't matter that this won't take ink, because I'm not going to ink it up. Or, well, I might in a simple way, but not in a fancy schmancy way, which will it's going to be fine. So what I've done is I've cut that one out, but then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that out of the middle. This one I'll use later, and maybe do some gold on white, and then maybe put a bit watercolour on the background or something. So every time I'm doing this, I start thinking of things that I haven't done yet that I can play with. Now I'm kind of like I'm kind of drifting now. I'm kind of lost now, thinking of how that could look. So I'm bringing it back. That there is what I'm saving to pop in the middle of that one when I have decorated, once I've decorated the outside. Oh, can you tell I was no good at jigsaws as well? Look at that. Seriously, it could have been done quicker, couldn't it? So that's how it's going to marry up when I'm done. That's the bit I want to do some watercolouring on, so I'm keeping that to one side. This is the one I'm going to work on now, and we're going to stamp and make look absolutely fabulously blingy in a really quick time. So to do that, I've got my stamp set here, and I've left it. If you take it off, if you take this stamp set off there, I would put it back on and position it by lining it up with the inked image on your carrier sheet. And the reason is because they're big, huge stamps and they haven't got a solid core, they can kind of wibbly wobbly and distort a little bit. And I like to marry the stamp and die up like this. I like to do all of my die cutting, cut like the wind, cut everything out, get the die cutter out and clear the decks and cut everything I want to cut, and have a big pile of everything like this and that and lots of other ones ready to play with. Then I go ahead and ink it. I just find that as much kind of workflow ways, it just works better for me. What I want to do before I do any inking is, because I'm going to use embossing powder, I need to remember to use a little bit of an anti-static pad on here, because I do want that embossing powder to just stick to the bits I'm going to put where the ink's going to be. So I've got this ready here. I've got a Versamark. And before you do anything, just to make sure you've got your eye in, if you want to, what I would say is before you ink anything up, just have a look and see how it's going to work. Now, a big, strong suggestion from me would be look at the twiddly bits, the fancier, finer detail areas on this. So here you've got a finer detail area. You've got these really quite tenderly kind of little bits of the snowflake, and you've got up here the same thing. So I'm looking at these here and I'm figuring if they're matched up, then the rest of it's going to be pretty much matched up. So that's just a little practice run. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Versamark and I'm going to make sure I really ink this up well, because we're not using a stamping platform, so we can't go back over and pick up where we've missed. So just take your time, make sure you get all of the edges. To be honest, if you miss a little bit, it doesn't matter, because this is so busy, this border, and it's going to be all pretty and blingy when we finish that. You wouldn't even notice, to be honest, if you've missed a little bit. There's little tips and tricks I can give you to sort that out if you need to do that. So we'll just carry on like that, making sure it's all inked up. Thank you very much. And then we shall take this turn it upside down and do just what we just did. Now, don't use a heavy pressure. You want to barely sit it on there, because until you press down, it's all good. Even if this was a coloured ink, and I'll show you when we come to looking at the other one, the garland one, I've actually used a grey ink on there, and you'll see it's nice and sharp. So, you know, even though this is clear, it's still fine even if it's like a black ink you're using, as long as you don't do what I'm going to do now. And that's it, right? I'm pretty much happy there. That's where I'm going to stick there. That's where I'm going to commit to saying, that's it. Now, once you do that, once you get the bit where you say, that's where I'm sitting it, don't ever lift up both hands. All you do is walk around and make sure you are pressing down on all the little bits and pieces. And seriously, this is still much quicker than I find stamping it, then putting your die over it and trying to line it up and then doing it that way. I just find this much more effective. I get a better finish like this. I get it better edge to edge, and it just is, like I say, it just works better for me because I can get my die cutting machine out, clear the decks, do all of the clean cutting bit, then get messy with the colouring and the inking all together. And also I've got all my cards cut, so then I can start looking and seeing cards that I want to coordinate that will work nicely together. So once you've done that, pick it up. Hope you've got everything covered. You won't know at the minute until you do this next bit. Now, I have got lots that I've prepared that I can show you different combinations, but I thought for this one we'll just keep it simple. We'll use a white embossing powder, an opaque white, and we'll go ahead and pop that on this pale blue background. So already we're going frosty, wintry, cool kind of feel to this. But we're not going to be done. We're going to put a little bit of ink on it to maybe give it a little bit more interest, make it look a bit cooler again. So that on there, I think I've got everything done there. Just be careful when you're handling this because it is big, and just have a quick look and see if you've missed any bits. And just scoop them up if you've missed anything on those little edges. Right, I think we're good. Okay, pop that there, pop that back in the tub. By the way, if you ever use WOW embossing powders, I used WOW many years ago. I think I was the first one on TV to use the WOWs a long time ago. And it's interesting when you get all the information from WOW in that these little jars are anti-static jars. So they've been treated to not cause the embossing powder to cling. So technically, if you always put the embossing powder back in these little jars, they shouldn't cling to the background. So it kind of negates the need for this. I still use it just in case. If you decant it into a different container, you know, when you sometimes buy 2 or 3 and then you put them in like a takeaway container, they're not anti-static, so that causes the embossing powder to then cling again. So just a little bit of a, you know, a little factoid for you there and something to be aware of. So embossing this, always get your heat gun up to heat before you start embossing. Just takes a little bit for it to build up. If you do it like that, it means that you're more likely to get more of an even melt on your embossing powder. Start in one area and just keep it nicely controlled, not too close. Don't hold your embossing tool over the vents or that will cause it to cut out. And then as soon as it's melted, you just move on, nothing to say, and move around your garland like this. So I'm saying this for people who are new to embossing, or people who maybe have tried embossing and there's little things that maybe you don't get a consistent finish. And sometimes, you know, you forget or you've missed little tips. So it's always good just to say them. You know, you can delete, you can filter. If it's like, oh yeah, I've heard that, blah, blah, just, you know, pay it never no mind, just ignore it, go to your happy place, and I'll move on in a minute. So as you can see, we're just moving around there. And the good thing is, the white's a great colour to start with if you're new. Gold and silver, black, gold and silver. Great colours to start with if you're not a seasoned heat embossing person. Because if you use something with a glitter in, it's already glittery and you can't see if it's melted or not as easily. Look at how pretty. Can you see that? Is it caught on the camera? Have you got that, Maria? Mm-hmm. Isn't that gorgeous and frosty already? Right, what we're going to do is we're going to play with it a little bit. So you can leave that at that. Get your bling on, get some little jewels on there, get some stickles on there, look fab. But just as a little extra for you, let's have a little bit of a play. Now, I haven't tried this with Villainous Potion yet. You have to say like Villainous Potion. Wahaha. Right, so but I'm going to pick up a little. I tried with chipped sapphire and it looked really pretty. But what I'm doing now is I'm just giving it a little bit of an ombre effect, a little bit of a it makes it look a little bit more 3D. I think, Maria, don't you?
Yeah, it looks lovely.
By catching it around the outside like this. It's such an intense colour, isn't it? That card that Lisa created with the Villainous Potion looks really, really impressive. It's definitely a wow colour. So around like that. And so now, can you see how we've got that really pretty variation? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a little bit around here. I don't know what it's like heat-wise where you are, but oh, good grief. It's quite ironic that the heat wave, the hottest time I think I can remember in the UK, and we've got the Christmas, it's all Christmas and Christmas launch and Christmas crafting. Go figure. So right now, let me pop that to one side. I'm going to wipe that up. Got my wipes somewhere hidden. I've got that much on my desk. Seriously, with this collection, there is so much, and I've got so much prepared. I don't know where to put it all for you to show you. So I'm literally, we could go for for a week and still be discovering things with this collection. Would not be difficult. So now we've got this here, and that's looking really pretty, don't you think? Ooh. Yeah, you got that? But what we're going to do is we're going to bring it up a bit more. So now this is where it gets a bit painful, okay? I can ink till the cows come home, a bit of paint on everything. If you want to see, it's like, oh, put the gems down and move on, Douglas. You know, each to their own. Oh, me trying to pick these up. I know that people who are seasoned to this would have your little posh tweezers and everything like that, and you would be much more efficient at this than I am. Just saying. You should see me try to cut stuff out. Really. So, right. Oh, look at that. I haven't done bad. Target practice. I've actually managed to hit the centre of these little things, yeah. I'm varying them. I'm mixing them up. These are great little collections I found here. Lots of different size little blingy bits, and so whatever you've got, so I'm not going to do the whole thing. I've got ones I've got finished, because really, you know, that you'd rather be watching paint dry than watch me stick these on, I'm sure. I've got that there. Then I would go with a little bit of the bling, the stickles. So we were just saying about the stickles, you know, there's three that look clear there. The icicles got a gold tint, the crystal goes greeny, and the stardust goes bluey on kind of like refracts the light. Refraction, that's the one. Right, so I think I'm going to use the well, you could use the blue, or let's use this one, let's use stardust. So what you can do is just, instead of using, Maria didn't know the stickles trick, she was using like gallons of the stuff. It's like, no, you don't have to use loads of it. A good quality glitter glue, you really just need a little bit, and splodge it on, then tap it, and it goes a long way. So, you know, or you can be a bit more specific, and you know, but really, if you want just fast and effective and blingy, let me show you the bit that we've done there. I'm not, again, doing the whole thing. I've got one. That was a good shot, right? Just me arm there. Right, let me lift that up. If I pop that a bit against the black, you might be able to see it a bit better. Can you see that bit that's blinged better there? Is that coming across?
It is.
Yeah. It's just so effective. I just love that frame. It's like so, it's kind of like little Catherine wheels and kind of organic, isn't it? Yeah, rather than your static snowflakes. Now let me show you some of the ones that I have done like that. Now I'm not going to do the mixing and matching. We've got another, we'll do that at the end where we can start swapping elements around. But let me show you some of the ones that I've done. There's one that I did with a different combination of embossing powders, and this was on a different blue card that you can see there, and with the gems in the middle. You got that one? Yeah. This one I love. This one was the one I did on TV, and I thought, ooh, it was a teal coloured card, and I used chipped sapphire around the outside, because I had used a copper, like a bronze embossing powder, and that looks like verdigris. I love that. I really like that one. That's really quite contemporary looking, isn't it? Do you like that, Maria, or is it just me?
No, I think it's
I think it's cool, isn't it? And then, of course, you can back them with your plain backing like this. Put one against the other, and then it doubles it up and powers it up, and you got more of a wow again. But that's how to do a blingy frame really quickly. Then we'll look at the snowflakes and things later, and layering them up if you want to pop those on and things, if you want to play with them. Right, I'm going to tidy up, then we'll do a little, the other frame, and colour that in with some watercolours. Different fashion.
How perfect is that? As soon as Sheena added that purple around the edge, I was sold. That was it. I mean, as if I didn't love it enough before. And then with the addition, of course, of the gems and everything, just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. Somebody said something about sort of Ice Queen in there. That's exactly what I was thinking with the blues and the purples and the silvers. Really, really beautiful. Sheena, they are stunning. You're still there, still with us.
Yeah, I'm quite enjoying watching it. It was kind of like, it's fallen out my head already, like I said. So it's like I'm seeing it new again for the first time.
Yeah. and you know what? It's the quietest I've ever known you is sitting watching those.
That's the work. That's the most difficult part of these pre-recorded sections. It's like, oh yeah. I'll talk up a storm this afternoon to make up for it. Yeah,
I'm sure you will. So I put the question to people for the competition earlier, which we're going to announce. It's about half an hour after your next demonstration video. I keep ribbing you about that. I am joking because we love it. So we're giving away a bundle that's worth over £115. That is absolutely everything that's in your Heartfelt Christmas collection. So for those who are just joining, we're asking just to answer the question in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, how many cards, Christmas cards, do you tend to make, and sort of who do you make them for? Do you make them to sell? Do you make them for friends and family? Loads of comments already. Lots of people discussing things like stickles, for example. I've not used stickles for years. They've been around such a long time. But yeah, you're inspiring everybody. You really are. And Benita has said she loves your Sunday lives as well.
Oh, so, yeah, we kind of like a bit naughty sometimes on Sunday lives. Yeah, with a lot of ad-libbing in that, but yeah, good fun.
It's great. Well, actually, while we're here, where can we catch you on a Sunday? Because we can see more of this.
Yeah, look on the main Facebook page, just Sheena Douglas, and there will be 6:30 every Sunday, and we mix it up every weekend. And then I usually go off piece. I have a plan, and then I stop playing, and I'm discovering at the same time.
And that's what we love. We love seeing you go off-piste. It's good fun. Shall we jump straight into the third demonstration? We are almost at 1:30. We've got another 29 minutes to watch, but I'm pretty sure most people are going to hang around and watch this. All of these videos are going to be available at some point on YouTube, but I need to tell you, everybody, this is selling out really, really quickly. We have got small items of each of the products available still. The bundle's still available as well, but only just, I think, like I say, by the end of the day, I think it's all going to be gone. So please do, if you're thinking about it, pop it in your basket, check it out, and then sit back and watch these videos. And you can catch up with this live later on as well if you do miss anything whilst you're checking out. Lovely, Sheena, we'll come back to you in a short while. Take care. Thank you.
Okay, let's do a little bit of watercolouring with the other frame. So completely different techniques, and one really quick, one a little bit more time consuming, but we've got little tips on how we can make that quicker too. So if you look at this and see what I've done, and I'll explain what I've done previously. So I cut the frame out as we did with the snowflakes. I inked up with using a Memento or any pale water resistant, pale grey water resistant ink. I think it looks softer if you're watercolouring than a black. It just looks, you see the colour more and less of the harsh line. And you can see how well that's absolutely married up to the whole frame there. Everything's stamped really cleanly and precisely, and it's spot on. So I did it exactly the same way as the snowflakes, but obviously not with the Versamark and embossing, just with the ink this time. Now I've got my little set of watercolours. If you haven't got a set of watercolours yet, I completely, absolutely recommend this little Van Gogh set, the watercolour palette. I think it's +3. And it's you get 3 extra colours, and it's got all your primaries in, you've got everything you need in here. It's a great palette. And in fact, it's so great, Maria keeps pinching it, just saying. Yeah, she created a really lovely bit of wall art for some friends, and used this, and she's got all kinds. You got virtually every watercolour you can imagine, but you wanted to try this one, didn't you? And you loved it. Yeah. So it's a great one to look at, really affordable, good one to go for. So what I'm going to do, first of all, let me show you how we can colour in this little this hellebore. So I'm using this red here. Definitely what I should have said is, before you do anything, make a colour chart. Now, I don't know where my colour chart's gone, but if you haven't got a colour chart, even doing this and trying on a little bit of scrap paper is a good thing. Now, you don't want to just put the intense colour on there. You want to wash it out, because if we're doing a pastel rose, for example, a rosy colour, the only way to get pastel and watercolour is to just add more water. So you can see that's going to be a warmer colour. This is a cooler. This is a very orangey kind of red. So you've got 3 different reds there, and 3 very different reds. You can't mix those. Primary colours are what they are, but you get different varieties of primary colours. So you got the pinky one, the rosy one, and the orangey kind of version. So it's this one I'm going to use there. And what I've done is I've popped a little bit out of my palette onto me, or use a mixing palette, just for speed, I'm using that. And I'm going to make this one a little bit darker than the one I did previously. And I'm just going to take a little bit of the colour, and I'm going around the outsides of my petals, just like that. Easy as that. And I'll do the same here like this. So if you want them more pastel, just add more water. I'm going for a stronger colour here, so I'm using less water and a little bit more paint. Now the other way to get a stronger colour is when this dries, and it always dries lighter, just so you can see it's already drying lighter, is to go over and put another coat on it. It's what watercolour artists call glazing, and it's how they build up the colour, because watercolour is what you pay for in good watercolours, is the translucent quality. Really, they shouldn't be opaque. They shouldn't obliterate the background, because the white should always show through, as in to give you that variation in tone and shading that you need. So we've got that on there. Let's pop a little bit on this little bud here. I'm not going to paint the whole garland, just so you know. I'm going to do the main features. I'm going to do a bit of everything, so you can see how I would, and then it's just repeat after that. So we'll do this little one here, this flower here. I'm going to treat that in just the same way, and don't worry if it runs away from you a little bit, because if you want it to look watercolory, sometimes being too precise doesn't give you the best result. Just splodge it on there, it'd be great. Alright, so we've got a splodge already. The centre, I'm going to use this bright green. They tend to have this like really pretty greeny kind of centre to these hellebores, don't they? That. And again, if you want it more subtle Christmas rosy kind of colour, just add more water to everything. Everything I'm doing here, a bit more water, less paint. So we've got that one going there, like this. And if you're not sure what they look like, absolutely look at a picture. You've got to do, if you're going for realism, don't assume. My my teacher always used to say, don't draw or paint what you think, paint what you see. And it's so true, because I've done that. I was drawing a daffodil a bit back, and I thought, 5 petals. A lot of them have got 5 petals. Turns out they got 6. Who knew? Yeah, if I'd looked, I would have known. So we've got that going on there. Let's pop a little bit. I'm going to pop a little bit of a yellowy colour. I can't remember if there is or not. We hear a little noise in the background. It's just little Willow, part of the whole team. Those of you who follow me know. Little cockapoo there. The 2 of us have been looking for anywhere to get shade and to get cool. Oh, seriously, not doing well in this heat. So I'm going to just go a little bit darker around the centre of this, like this. And we've got the flower virtually sorted there. We'll pop a little bit of a thing there for that stem. Now we can go back and we can shade this and make it look better in a minute, but that's okay to start with. We're good. We're onto a good start. All right, we can shade it and get it a bit more fancy. There's a one I've missed there, but like I say, we'll just do sections of it. Now, the thing is, when you've got different leaves, you've got 3 different types of leaf in this garland. We've got the ivy up here, we've got holly here, and we've got this leaf for the hellebore. Now what we ideally want are 3 different types of colours of leaf. So if we say the hellebore and or the ivy, we want it to be much warmer than the holly. In fact, let's look at the holly first. There's a really kind of cool green. Can you see it looks almost pine green? We can start with that, but what you can also do is, if you're not sure, you can mix them, and you can mix loads of greens with just yellow and blue. So if you're thinking that looks a little bit too cold, pop a little bit of yellow in it and we'll say, well, let's use that as a base for the holly. Let's colour this bit up here. Let's say we'll pop that there, pop a little bit there. So I'm not putting loads, I put quite a bit of intense colour on at the base, but then I'm just putting water on and I'm dragging it out towards the top of that holly leaf. So I've got a little bit of a suggestion of a highlight on it. So a little bit at the bottom, then just water and drag it out to the top. This is the base layer. This is the base, the first kind of undercoat of what we're painting. You can keep going and add to it and build on it and make it look more fancy and add the depth to it, but that's entirely up to you on how much time or how much you want to spend doing that, or where your skill level is. You know, you might think, well, that's all right, I'll quit with that, I'm happy with that, and it'll look great. But maybe, you know, if you do this again, you'll think, oh, I've added that highlight, doesn't that look better? But that's exactly what we all do, you know. You do something and then you do it again and you go, oh, okay. Hopefully you build on what you've done previously. Do you not? So we've got that holly. That's a very different kind of green to the green we're going to mix next for this and the ivy. Let's look at the ivy. So ivy sometimes got that like variegated ivy thing going on. So we can pop a little bit of that yellowy colour around the outside. Like that. And then we'll add a little bit of the warmer green, this one here, to the centre, and maybe add a little bit of brown into it to make it a little bit more earthy looking. And then we can pop a little bit in the centre. And if it's still wet, it kind of does that natural kind of wicking and shaping of the, you know, the way it does. Does that make sense? Yeah? If it looks a little bit too and it's running away from you, just blot a little bit up. But yeah, sometimes, you know, just put it on there, let it do its thing, and you're going to have a better result. So let's do a little bit more of that ivy, because that was quite good fun, like that. So that mustardy colour, we'll pop a little bit here. Now I did this on a Facebook Live using the Albrecht Dürer watercolour pens, which if you're brand new, you might find those a little bit easier to control than full-on street watercolour. But it's up to you. I just like to keep mixing it up so you can see that whatever you've got, you can use. You don't have to use a specific item to get it to look good. If it's a good stamp and it's a good design and good dyes, it should work with lots of different things you have in your CraftStash. And just continue there. You can see how now we've got that. I like that combination, pretty. So see how it's drying much paler than it looks when it's wet, and it's drying better, less vibrant, a little bit more subtle, like myself. So they look much stronger, and when they dry they should look a little bit paler like the other ones. But we've got a really nice combination of totally different. The holly, not thrilled with the holly colour, but we can change that. So we'll try maybe that greeny, that base there, and we'll add a little bit of that bluey colour to it, and we can, yeah, that's better. Okay, so we'll add a little bit more of that warmer tone to it, a little bit too bluey. And what I'm going to say as well is, don't worry if you lose some of the white. You know, if you think, oh no, there's no highlight on there, it's all kind of smooshed in together, I can't see one from the other. We have the wonders of a white gel pen or gouache. Traditional watercolour artists, kind of, that's part of the discipline they learn, is how to, you know, leave the white on the page, which is why they use things like drawing gum or masking fluid, and same thing, just call it different things, so that you can paint it on and leave that part of your image with the white and not get it contaminated. So let me just do a little bit in here so you can see the different green in amongst that ivy. There's a little bit in there, and then I'll show you where we'll do a little bit of they'll do the berries, do a little bit of shading, show you how we do that, and then a little bit of highlight, and then I'll show you one that I created earlier so you can see how it's looking. So I'm using a little bit of brown and a little bit of Payne's grey for the stem bits in between, because I want those pushed back. And just have fun, you know, just cut one of these out and just have a play with it and see what you can do and mix and match. It's just a bit of card, and you'll be surprised at how, when you play with it, you're going to get different looks and everyone's going to look different. So if I want to, well, let's do the berries. I want to use some of this vibrant here. You see that vibrant orangey red in with this cooler red. So let's use a bit of the cooler red. Might not be much room to do both of them on there, but let's try that around a little bit, part of it, maybe like that. And I want to leave some white if I can, and then we'll pop a little bit of that warmer in there as well. Now this is where you can go full on. I think berries need to look really juicy, don't you? Strong colour. And then you've got them really popping out, those little berries on there. So we'll use the darker colour around the outside, and less water, a little bit more paint, so less watercolory. And that's fine, it's your call. Watercolour all doesn't have to look wet into wet and diffused and splodgy. It can, when you look at different watercolour artists and the way they use the medium, you wouldn't know some of it was watercolour, and that's fine. It's just paint at the end of the day. Use it the way you want to use it. If it looks good when you're finished, who cares? I think that's what people think. If it doesn't have a certain look, then it's not right, and it really doesn't matter. So we've got that there. Oh, we've got that leaf there to kind of tackle as well. A different kind of leaf. Let's go with this green here, this warm green, and let's mix a little bit of that brown there. See, this is where you need your colour chart. Yeah, that's good. That's a kind of leaf. Yeah, we'll do that one. So it's warmer, kind of earthier kind of green. So you see how we've managed to vary the greens in this project by just adding a little bit of brown to one, a little bit of yellow to another. And remember to have little bits more paint, less paint in areas, and you don't have to take ages doing it. Just let the paint do its thing, and it looks cooler anyway. So we've got that there. Now, if you want to add a little bit of shading, I'm trying to avoid all this paint I've got on there, so I'm keep pulling it out of your way. So let me wipe this paint, which is why really you're best off getting yourself a little mini plastic palette or using the palette in the lid. But just for space, it was difficult to manage that way. So this needs to be dry before I do the next bit, and you need a little bit more detail in that flower. Let me just blast this with a heat gun quickly. Right, so what you can do after you've put all your colour on, if you want to add a little bit of shading, you can add a little bit of this Payne's grey. It's just a neutral kind of, it's softer than a black. It's just a neutral colour. It's like a neutral grey. And you can start popping a little bit of shading in areas of your image. If you want it to look like, for example, that leaf there, I want to look like it's behind all of this stuff that's going on. So just splodging some of that there, push that right back, and it looks really dramatic at the minute, but don't worry, it'll be fine. And in between it, where there's little bits of white card, you can pop that on, and it makes it, pushes it back as if there's no light showing. Now if you want to shade the hellebore, you can use that same Payne's grey, but use it much paler. Okay, use it really watered down, so that you've got just that suggestion of a little bit of shape and shading where one petal is overlapping another petal. I'm going to lift this up so you can see a bit closer, because Maria's got really close in, but I know my head keeps coming in when I'm painting. I don't know if I've been too bad, have I, today, Maria?
You've been a good girl.
Have I? Thank you. I'll get into trouble, get it wrong if I can get it wrong. Just saying. Oof, watch myself. So, Payne's grey, will pop a little bit on this holly behind here as well. And just push that back, so that bit's behind that bit. And just a quick, easy way of giving it more depth and dimension, without having to, you know, too many variables. Does that make sense? Right, so can you see how much better that holly's looking as well? If I pick it up, you might be able to see. Now this bit here is curled over, so we'll do that darker. It's all about just having a little bit of light and shade and contrast in your project. So we'll pop that one back there, a little bit back there, and that one's behind that one, so we'll pop a little bit there, put that darker, that there. Right, I'm not going to do too much more because I'm going to move on to show you more. I'm going to lift this up so you can see what we've done in real time together. And every one you do, when you're painting, every single one you do, even if you've used the same process, is going to look different. So don't judge one with the other, just judge them all on their own merit. So you've got that there, you're going to dry it, and then if you think, uh-oh, I've lost some of the white detail, right, this is what you're going to do next. You're going to dry it, and you're going to get your gouache or your white gel pen, and obviously you'd continue colouring that or not. Let me show you another option. And if you've lost the white in your berries, for example, you can just pop a little bit on there and pop that back in. I find this is a little bit more effective than the gel pen, because it covers a larger area quicker, and you can vary the intensity of the white. So if you want it really, you know, just a little bit of a highlight, you just add a little bit of water to it, just dilute it slightly. If you want it really much brighter, then have less water on it, or go over it twice. So I don't know if you can see the difference on that holly now at the top. See how much more depth it has? Yeah? Can you see that, Maria?
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. You can be me eyes and ears on this. Normally I'm heckled like you wouldn't believe. If you watch these Facebook Lives, I can't believe how silent. We'll pop a little bit of the on the top of these little bits, give them a bit of a highlight there. And this little bit here. So just don't go over the top with it, just a little bit, because it's a highlight. You know, you want to treat it as such. It's like everything. If you end up with everything lighter, then you've lost the contrast. If you end up with all dark, again, you've lost the contrast. So it's about the light and shade to get it looking really cool. So read the stamp, look and see what's going on, and then just highlight it appropriately like that. So we've got a little bit there, and the gouache will dry lighter too, so be aware of that. So don't worry if it goes, well, that's really light. You can go over and add a little bit more of a highlight to it. So let me pick that little bit up there, and we'll pop a little bit in the centre. Let's put some little highlights back in here.
just little dots with your brush. Make sure you haven't got lots of water in your brush, so that's going to run down and he's going to lose that in the centre. So now, can you see this little bit there? See how much more detailed that is with the highlights?
That's lovely.
Thank you. So that's how you're going to go around. That's giving you a little crash course on how to build it up. Let me show you one I did earlier. There you go. Now see, look at the difference in the, look at how much stronger the colour is on that hellebore to that one. And that's exactly, all I did was use more water, less colour, but that's an option you've got there, depending on which one you like. Now, I've added stickles to it, and the other thing I've done is I've cut into these little petals just here and there. It doesn't need the whole thing, just a little bit, which then allows me to give it a bit of articulation, like that. See, lift it up, and the same with your holly and the ivy little leaves. Cut into little bits where you can, and it makes it look much prettier. And shaped around like that. Now, and time saver, if you don't want to colour the whole thing, you can just colour like that, 3 sections, and then I've just glittered in between, and that looks really cool too. Now, let me show you. We'll do one last stamping thing, and we'll do a middle, and then we'll do some mixing and matching. This might be an epic. This might be like a mini series, Lou. So, yeah. Hope you. This is like a Facebook Live. It just goes on forever, kind of thing, doesn't it, Maria? We forget. It's like a lock-in.
Need some Coca-Cola and some popcorn.
You definitely do. Yeah, absolutely. Right. So now let me show you. I've got one lined up here, just quickly, just to show you a quick centre. So if you spend all this time doing this lovely fancy painting on the outside, and plus I'll show you some other options that you can do to make that quicker. We'll do a quick monochrome centre. Now I don't know what this is going to look like because I'm using a brown here. I'm using gathered twigs. I usually use, I've been using chipped sapphire, stormy sky, all the kind of cool Christmassy colours. But you know, hey, why not wait until there's lots of people watching to have an experiment, Maria? But I thought we might as well try a little bit of a vintage kind of look. Now, if you see a vintage, you probably straight away think of vintage photo. But I have to say, vintage photos isn't my go-to colour for brown. I find it quite yellowy. So what I like to do is, if it wasn't for gathered twigs, it would be walnut steen. Now, so what you're going to do here, there's a trick here. Even though it's so simple, but there's things to know to do and not to do. The first thing is clean water. Well, that one's not very clean. I should have mentioned with your watercolours as well, if you have 2 water containers, so you've got one that's to take the thick of the dirty water off, and then another one to pick up clean water, you'll get a much better finish. Now, what I would say is test your card out when you're doing this. So if you've got a card that kind of grabs the ink, it might have quite a bit of chalk in it. You can't see the chalk, but it might just be a bit more grabby than other card that releases the ink quite quickly. Check it out. If it's a grabby card, you need to work quite quickly before the ink starts to dry. If it's a card that is leaving the ink quite wet for quite a while, it's sitting on the surface, a good watercolour card might do that. This is a nice quality watercolour card, an inexpensive student quality watercolour card. You don't need the posh, you know, mega expensive cotton, 100% cotton stuff. You just need something that's been designed to work with a water-based product. If it's releasing too much colour, just give it a little blast with your heat gun. And then the secret here as well is use hardly any water. Don't use a water brush for this, because if you do, it'll run away from you. Water brushes are great for quick, sketchy, kind of wet into wet looks, and you know, where it's loose and it doesn't matter on a larger area. But if you want precision and you want it to look, you know, where you've got stamps with finer detail, definitely just use a regular brush and use barely any water. So, and also don't get blend happy. Don't blend everything. We want this still to look like snow on the roof, so we don't want to blend all of that, the detail and the line work on there. You can pop a little bit under the eaves, and you'll actually see I've cross-hatched some areas so that it's giving part of the building a look of being in shadow, and that's great. Blend those bits. That's the bit that you read the stamp and you just blend it and it works. But
but the snow on the roof and the snow on the trees, just leave them. And then all you're going to do, and if you want to add a little bit and bring that further down, you can just bring a little bit of your paint in and just bring a little bit more of the snowy kind of thing, like this brown snow. But it just gives that effect of a kind of a more of a vintage photo, and you can tint that if you want, and you can darken areas if you want. If you think I want that really to look dark in there, and I want a little bit of a really dark kind of impact underneath that eave there, the eaves, and I want that darker and that a little bit there. Don't be afraid to add a little bit of just straight ink on there if you want to pop a little bit of detail. But what I would say, let that dry first, okay? Because if you don't, it'll run away from you and go a bit smushy. So I'll intensify the trunk of the tree a little bit, give that a bit more. And also you can, make underneath this little snow banks on the foliage and things a bit darker if you want. Just have a bit of a play. It's one of those techniques that, again, you can build on it. It looks simple, but there's things you can do to make it look more arty and got more contrast and 3D elements to it than just leaving it sometimes. So we've got that there. Then you can add a bit of stickles. What I would add to this one, let's do the bit of the icicle, which has got a gaudy tone to it. And we'll pop a little bit like that, like this. I mean, I'm sure your stickle application may be a little bit more precise than mine. And now, absolutely, stickle application has to be stickled for me, because if I'm let loose with a bit of glitter, the whole house is glittering for the whole year. Like a disco ball. Call me Gloria Gaynor. That's all I'm saying. I will survive that glitter cord. You see, now it's clogged up a little bit there. That's chunky glitter in this one. This which one is this one? Icicle. It seems to be quite a. Oh, that's Willow. Every time you knock, she thinks there's someone at the door. Sorry, Will. Anyway, you've got the idea. That's how it looks, really quite golden when you see it like that. Is that giving you? Yeah?
Oh, that's lovely.
Isn't it pretty? Like that gold. Yeah, it's pretty, isn't it? Right, now, those are the elements. That's not even scratched the surface. We've hardly looked at the other sets. But that's enough now for me to regroup, and we're going to start mixing and matching and showing you some quick ways to put cards together. All right? Oh, there I am. Hello. Okay, cheers everybody. See you back here in a minute or so.
Now, I know I took the mickey a little bit and I was saying how Sheena did such a long video, but how worth it was that? How many tips and techniques did you pick up about the watercolouring, the stickles? We said hello to Willow as well. Lots and lots in there. So, Sheena, you're still there? You're still with us?
I've been out, done a bit of shopping, come back, had a cup of tea, had a nap, and yeah, I'm still here.
See, I know you're fibbing because I saw you watching the whole time.
Oh, yeah.
You were do you know what? You were as engrossed as I was, and I've never even seen it before.
Oh,
but it's absolutely fantastic. You're so talented, and I can tell you could just craft for hours. You could just go on and on and on. So, and we love you for it. We've had so many comments about the amount of Christmas cards that people make in order to enter to win the entire collection. I need to, first of all, I have got a winner. I've got a winner here, completely picked at random, so I'll announce that person in a minute. But I need to give a huge well done, I think, to all the people who make for charity, because there are so many people making 200, 250, 100, however many for charity, or to raise money for charity, either way. So a little clap, because well done to all of you. You're all amazing. And yeah, thank you so much for doing that. And then, of course, people make for their friends. They make for their friends to give to friends and such. So yeah, all very generous crafters, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. And it should bring pleasure and sharing and caring. I think it just all should be part and parcel of the whole thing.
Absolutely, absolutely. So our winner. This person is going to win your entire collection. That's all items. Hang on, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
A lot.
6 items, isn't there?
And there's loads within each item. There's lots.
Yes. So 6 packets, I guess we'll say. That includes the papers, it includes the sentiments that are exclusive to CraftStash as well. And that is on Facebook. Now, this person usually makes her cards in November, but she needs to send over to Canada. So she needs to be thinking about making them this year in September or October. So you probably know who you are. It's Joanna Enyon from Facebook. Congratulations to you. Hey. You have won the entire collection. So Joanna, a clap for you as well, actually. A clap for all of you who entered, but especially to Joanna. Joanna, please do send us your postal address to the customer services team at CraftStash. You'll find the address on the website, and I'll get that prize sent out to you. Sheena, it's lunchtime.
I know. It's probably dinner time. It's probably breakfast time, isn't it? Next day.
Almost. But who's counting? That's fantastic. Thank you so much. There's only a small amount of the items left. I've been checking the website whilst you've been, whilst we've been watching the videos, and yeah, they're selling like hotcakes. So everybody, if you are on the fence or you're thinking about it or have things just in your basket, please do check them out. And Sheena, a huge thank you. And Willow. Hello, Willow.
Come on then. Come on, help say goodbye. Last minute.
You can tell this is live, can't you?
Come on,
see?
No,
you don't.
Then you missed your 1, 3,
There we go. Oh, and her tennis ball as well. You don't get this in the TV studios, do you? Look.
You don't. It's terrible.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, both of you. And Maria in the background as well. Thank you to her. And of course, Maria did help with preparing the videos and everything. We very rarely see her, but we know she's there.
We do hear her, we do.
Oh, we hear her.
Yeah. It's like, clash of the two of us. But yeah, absolutely. Maria's the techie woman and does all the lighting and all the switching cameras, and which I couldn't do. So we are absolutely a team. Yeah,
you really are. All 3 of you are a fantastic team. So, Sheena, hopefully we'll see you back again very soon on CraftStash with another new collection. I know you've got loads of inspiration, and that's all on your Facebook group, your Facebook page. We share it at CraftStash. So just a very quick reminder to everybody or anyone who hasn't joined you, where can we find you on Facebook?
On Facebook, just for Sheena Douglas, for It Is Me. And also join the Inkettes, Sheena's Inkettes, and this is where in the album section, all of the collection. So if you buy this collection, if you've invested in this, and you're going to use them next year, the year after, which you can because it's so massive, this collection. Nobody will get 2 cards the same 2 years running, 3 years running. You'll find all the inspiration still there. It's all held there for you.
Fabulous. And one last thing, you have a new YouTube channel.
Yes, absolutely. And I need you to please go and oh, she's gone.
She's gone.
Thanks for that. She's gone to sign up to the YouTube channel.
Well done, Willow. Yeah. Yes. So, Sheena Douglas. Is it just Sheena Douglas on YouTube? Got to remind herself.
That's the one. Yeah. You know what? I'll need to double check it because it's looking lovely and shiny and new. It's where all the updated demonstrations are going to be with products that you can get now, and all the favourites will bring back like faux leather, but with things that are like current products.
Amazing. What we'll do is we'll get links put on all your pages and all the social media platforms so everybody can go and subscribe to that, because what we'll do is in the future we can be streaming these out on that channel as well, so you can find you everywhere. Okay, lovely Sheena, I'm going to let you, Maria and Willow, go and have your lunch and the cuppa, and we will see you again very, very soon.
Thank you, and thanks to everybody at CraftStash, and you're all fabulous, lovely to bits, and everyone there who supported it and everyone who continues to support, and thank you, appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. We'll catch you soon. Take care.
Take care.
Bye-bye. So there we go, lovely Sheena, Maria and Willow, of course, launching Sheena's brand new Heartfelt Christmas Collection. So congratulations to Joanna for winning that collection. Don't forget to get your postal address to us so we can send that out. And thank you to everybody who has commented and who has bought as well. Now, a personal note from me, I have a new launch on Friday, which I'm really excited about because this one is not a TV launch at all. It's not going to be on TV. We've held this off of TV so we can launch it exclusively on CraftStash. So this is going to be the only place you can buy this collection. I have not launched anything for a few months since Geometric, so I've been saving up for the Christmas launch. So you'll find my Nordic Christmas online at CraftStash from first thing in the morning on Friday and 12:30 on Friday. I will be here right where you're watching now, unless you're in Sheena's group. so I won't be there, but I'll be everywhere else, and I'll be demonstrating and showing you everything there. And of course there'll always be offers and giveaways as well. So please join me 12:30 on Friday, and thank you for joining today, and I'll see you all again very soon. Have a lovely week, and don't get too hot, stay in the cool. Take care. Bye bye.